Former President Donald Trump's campaign is trying to make the argument that life is worse under President Joe Biden, which is, again, fairly subjective. But they did so in a way that is pretty hilarious because of how much of an epic fail it is. So let me show you this from a Facebook ad put by the Trump campaign. Under Joe Biden, America is a nation in decline. Oh no. Look at that horrible flaming cop car. Look at the what we assume to be migrants. Oh no. There is just one issue with this. The examples they use in that particular photo happened under Trump's presidency. Oops. So, look, you notice the burning cop car, okay? Burning police car gets a lot of people riled up. Well, that photo was taken in Chicago. It's a real photo on May 30th, 2020. So now Trump was president from January 20th, 2017 to January 20th, 2021. And by the way, some Trump supporters still believe that Donald Trump's president now. So, well, then how would that explain anything? If you still believe Donald Trump is a real president, that he's president right now, that what? He's wearing a Joe Biden skin suit or something? I have no idea. It's like Silence of the Lambs, the weirdest possible way. But then, okay, how would you explain then how it's worse for Biden? I don't understand. But okay, anyway. So obviously this happened under Donald Trump's watch. Now, the photo was published by outlets like the Daily Mail and Easy Central on May 31st, 2020, not long after footage surfaced of police officers murdering George Floyd. You know, this officer, Derek Chauvin, put his knee on George Floyd's neck while other cops sat by and watched. And then, of course, he died as a result. There were protests. The vast majority of them were peaceful, but there were violence. There was some of them did turn violent. There was some property damage. Property was destroyed. People were arrested. What does that have to do with Joe Biden? Well, absolutely nothing. Just nothing. And yet, again, under Joe Biden, America, nation in decline. There's more. The fail continues. There's another image to the right of Joe Biden. You can see the caption here. January 21st, 2020. But these, what we assume are migrants wading through some water. Huh. Now that photo was captured by photographer Moises Castillo and was distributed to media outlets through the Associated Press. Now, why would you show that? Why would you show that picture? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. It's there to make it look like people are crossing into the United States illegally. Except that's not what happened at all. That's not what the picture is. That photo actually shows migrants crossing not from Mexico to the United States, but from Mexico to Guatemala. They were actually literally going south. The photo bears the caption, Central American migrants cross the Suchet River from Mexico to Guatemala near Tucumán, Guatemala, Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. Oops, they're literally going south, not north. Wow. Okay. The ad, which can be viewed at Facebook's ad library, was run most heavily in Florida, Texas, and California, a place where many Republicans are upset about immigration. Good old ad targeting. Weird. Okay, so now there are other pieces of that ad. One of them showed a bunch of higher gas prices. Now, look, that's true. You got us on this one. Gas did go up. All right. Since President Trump was in office, gas went up. Wow. Okay, that said, did we have a pandemic? Yes, we did. That meant that people drove less, and as a result, gas prices went down. Since then, oil companies wanted to raise their profit margins by charging people higher gas prices. The war in Ukraine, of course, is another factor. So there's some blame in different parts that can go around for gas prices. Is that President Biden's fault? No. By the way, higher gas prices or lower gas prices under any president, it's not attributable to the president. So, I mean, higher gas prices, for example, if it were under Donald Trump, well, that wouldn't be his fault either. So the president just doesn't have it's like George W. Bush said it. We don't have a magic wand. This is low gas. I mean, it's true. It's true. and I hate when presidents try to, either take advantage of, oh, see, look, I did low gas prices, or people trying to blame the president when there's high gas prices. It just doesn't make any sense. But okay. Now, there's another photo there that appeared to be the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down over the Atlantic coast after going across the United States. So did one of those fly over the country under Biden? Yeah, of course. Yeah, it did. They also flew over the country when Trump was president. And I don't. Okay. All of these things, except for the gas prices, were happening under Donald Trump. And Republicans were pretty silent about it. Weird. So now, are we worse off? I mean, that's really up for the voters to decide. And I would really, urge people to look at their pocketbooks. Okay. I know there's a lot of pandemic measures that I'm upset about that have lapsed. And I'm upset that they lapsed. Okay. Because these measures helped a lot of families make ends meet, because we still have issues with inflation. We still have issues where people are not making enough money. And some of these measures that were in place were really, really good, and they were really helpful for many different families. Those no longer exist. And there's a lot of people being cut off Medicaid, for example, right now. People have been cut off food stamps, the SNAP program, massive amounts of cuts. And so now, of course, in most cases, or I should say probably all cases, Republicans blocked the efforts to continue them. But, I'll also point out that I don't think the Democrats fought hard enough on at least some of those measures. And there's some that they did, but mostly I don't think there was quite enough of a fight to keep these measures in place. My issue. And so, again, that'll bring me to the biggest issue that I have with Biden is under Biden, nothing has fundamentally changed. Now, that's exactly what we expected from President Biden. That's what he promised. He promised us and the donors that nothing would fundamentally change. And so, you get what you get, I guess. Get what you vote for. No change. But that's okay. The funniest part, though, getting back to Trump, is laziness. The laziness of this ad. Trump's campaign took a bunch of pictures of things that happened under Trump and tried to blame Biden with it. They just picked out the pictures. Oh, here we go. Here are things that are bad. Let's put it up. There was no attempt that was made. None at all. It's not like there isn't things that they could pick out. Again, okay, give them the gas prices. You could also talk about inflation. Okay, now inflation has been driven mainly by corporate greed. And so, that's probably why they don't want to show the inflation, because I think most people are generally not buying the corporate narrative that, inflation is just because people were making too much money during the pandemic. Yes, those stimulus checks, that's what made, no, that's not what made inflation. No, there were supply chain issues. Yes. And that did contribute to some price increases. And then you had CEOs, executives, corporations, and sometimes they would go and brag about it during shareholder meetings on video that, we just increased the price just because we could. So we could make more money. Of course. That said, when it comes to appealing to conservatives, you really don't have to try very hard. honestly. Because look, conservatives generally pretty easy to dupe. I mean,
just forget about the evidence.
What evidence? What evidence? Do we need evidence? No, we're just going to put a bunch of pictures together and we're just going to claim that it happened under Biden, even though they didn't. And again, this isn't the first time this has happened. It's the first time, not the first time that I've done stories about this, about the Trump campaign taking misleading pictures and applying it to other people. I mean, but again, you don't need it. Apparently, you don't need evidence. You don't need facts. And look, according to a new CBS News YouGov poll, a lot of people, likely Republican voters who are backing Donald Trump, about 75% of them say that they're backing Trump because he, quote unquote, actually won in 2020. So, yeah. Do I have that poll image? I do. Why are you voting for Trump? 75%. Well, he actually won. What? Oh, that's a reason? But again,
just forget about the evidence.
Don't need any. Show support for legal fights. Okay. I like him personally. Weird. But I love the last one here. 51% say he makes liberals angry. What? I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. I'm going to vote for a guy because he makes libs mad. What? Okay, when that's your political philosophy, no wonder you're not going to actually care about facts. You're not going to care about evidence. When facts don't matter, for these people, there's no point in trying to get through to them. There's no point in trying to get them to your side because their whole identity is, I'll make liberals cry. Okay, well, I mean, if you're going to screw yourself over financially, because again, the Republican Party platform is essentially there to funnel money to the rich. And if you're not rich, well, then by voting for Republicans, you're screwing yourself. Owning yourself to theoretically own the libs. A genius.